The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan.
Failure to do SpongeBob sound.
This time on Nude Clan.
Sparkly.
You've got several things to do. You've got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul glides. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Whose pick was this?
Not mine. It was A4's.
Welcome,
It was my pick.
ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast where A4 should introduce basically every single time, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm Joe. And
May
I'm
4.
Every
Did I do it
fucking
again?
time.
Did I do it again?
Yeah, every
Did I
time.
do it again? Fuck.
Go.
I'm A4.
I'm your guest host, Kryn.
And today, guys, we are going to be reviewing SpongeBob SquarePants, The Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated.
It's not long enough of a title.
No, the
We
original...
need a few more letters.
The original one is one word too small, very clearly, and thus we had to get the Rehydrated edition, which is exactly what we played. So, A4, why did you pick this game in the first place? What possessed you to make us play a SpongeBob game?
He didn't make us play.
Because
The
I never
audience-
played this game as a kid, despite having it.
Oh,
I heard it was good. And the remaster had just come out relatively recently.
So what you're saying is Hooters Road Trip was too much of a Goliath, so you had to take it out with the SpongeBob game. That's what you're trying to tell me, right?
Look,
now.
I know what the fans like. I know what people of this generation grew up playing.
My problem.
Just because I'm
like,
a
we didn't-
tastemaker doesn't
I'm
mean
sorry.
you got to be mad.
I'm sorry. We didn't grow up playing Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Is that what you're telling me? Is
Not
our
enough-
is
not
our
enough
audience
people,
skewing
apparently.
young?
Look, I'm not telling you that people didn't play the Two Towers. I'm telling you democracy is telling you that.
I mean, I guess officially it is.
I'm sure there's probably a million other memes of SpongeBob compared to the other franchises.
Lord of the Rings? I don't know, man.
No.
Lord of the Rings is a
Lord of the Rings does have a lot of memes.
I didn't
Not
say
as many
there's
as
a lot. I said
SpongeBob,
there's
but
probably more.
I don't know about
Because
that.
kids will make things about anything.
I don't know. I think SpongeBob is huge, and it was really big at the time. Obviously,
It's
big
still
enough to
huge.
come out with a. They have two movies, a few
3.
video games.
I thought there
They
was
have, I
3.
think, 3 movies.
Yeah.
And SpongeBob is arguably still the biggest thing Nickelodeon has. And, like, before... I think the Loud House is popular now, but before the Loud
Mm-hmm.
House, like, SpongeBob was almost the only thing Nickelodeon had for the last decade. I wanna
That's
say.
true. Nickelodeon kind of sucked there for a long time, didn't they? I never really liked.
Granted, I
Nickelodeon
haven't
much.
watched Nickelodeon in at least 15 fucking years, but, you know.
It was SpongeBob when I watched it last, though. Oh, they had. I liked Fairly Odd Parents. I thought that was a good show.
Yeah, that got rebooted recently. Apparently it's terrible.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, there are things that need to be left in the past. Like they were perfect for their time, and then resurrected, they lack the perfection that they once had. You know what I mean? Like there's a time and a place for everything, and I feel like sometimes when people reboot, they're counting on nostalgia, but the nostalgia is just that.
But there are some
Yeah,
times
like how
where
SpongeBob shouldn't have gone past like the 3rd season in the movie, or the fact that they waited for Steven Hillenburg to die to do a bunch of SpongeBob spin-offs, like one where he's a fucking kid at a camp.
Who is that guy?
I
The
don't know
creator?
who that is.
The creator, yeah,
Oh, okay.
he died somewhat recently, like a few years ago, and he wasn't really old either. He was in like his 40s, I think.
Oh wow. Wow.
me
So
check.
so as far as bigger effect on pop culture, I do want to say SpongeBob SquarePants made $141.1 million
Oh my god!
in the box office, and the first Lord of the Rings movie made $897.7 million. I think Lord of the Rings is a little bigger. And it doesn't make any sense to me that you guys voted for SpongeBob over
Because
the Two
Lord of the
Towers.
Rings
What's
is
wrong
3
with you?
movies. SpongeBob is a television series that spans like 2 fucking decades.
Look, none of you did it right anyway. You all picked games that were supposed to be good. This is supposed to be the trash pick. That's why I put Hooters in there. But you guys got to
I
fuck
voted for
around.
Hooters. I'm sorry.
See, he gets it. Quinn gets
Hey,
it.
I got plenty of games that are probably garbage that I can nominate next time. All right.
I
Yeah, but-
wanted something short and fun. I'll
I'm
be
still,
honest.
I'm still trying to figure out what was the 4th option in this list. If
Battle-
Lord of the Rings,
Star Wars
Hooters,
something, right? Wasn't it the
I don't
Star
know.
Wars game from Afer?
Yeah, it was.
Or
It
no,
was
uh,
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, yeah, I didn't vote for that.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys just don't understand, and the listeners don't understand either. I'm on a mission.
Yeah,
to-
I wonder what has made more
Am I out
money,
of touch?
Hooters
No,
or
it's the
SpongeBob
children who are
SquarePants?
wrong.
I mean,
Did we go in reverse order? Is like the biggest money maker is Star Wars, and then probably Lord of the Rings or Hooters.
you think
Look, you guys
Star
can
Wars
be
has
mad
made more
about the
money
way
than
the vote
Hoot-
turned out.
Oh.
But
I have no idea. I have to
Sorry,
look
more
at-
people wanted to watch us play SpongeBob.
Yeah, but I mean, who streamed? It was just me.
Well, I think that, I mean, you know what I mean. They wanted to hear this review because I think a lot of people who listen to the show did grow up with Battle for Bikini Bottom. So
Should have grown up with Hooters Road Trip. If you had parents that really cared about you, you would have grown up with the Hooters Road Trip. Like, this is good marketing for my boy.
I knew it was a game that existed during my time, but I don't think I ever grew up with it on purpose. But
Hooters?
yeah.
You knew it
Uh,
existed?
you didn't grow up with it on purpose. What does that mean?
I accidentally slid into Hooters Road Trip.
It's like if your parents are supposed to be giving you this game, then they were like, hell fucking no.
It was only rated teen. I mean, I'm excited to play it. My PS3 won't play it, though.
Hooters, on average, makes apparently $60 million a year, the franchise.
That's it?
A year.
60 million?
There's like 400 locations or something.
Oh, each one is an average of 60
No, that's total of 60 million. The franchise. But I don't know if that means it's split up between the owners of like what they franchised and then the actual franchise of
That's
Hooters
way more than my company.
making like money on top of that, you know?
So I guess we could say Hooters, the company, 60 million is probably what
Yeah.
we're saying. By franchising fees from the franchises.
Yeah.
I guess that would be how we would have to count it. Otherwise, Hooters would be easily the biggest. Like, yeah, even if you only had 100 of them in business for 10 years, I mean, I hope to God they would make more than the Lord of
It
the
only
Rings.
costs $300,000 to get a franchise from Hooters.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the cheaper end of.
Yeah, that's low.
Yeah.
Shit, you guys want to get a Hooters?
Hell yeah.
Buy every
We can
copy.
finally make Cooters.
Can't
I think
wait.
we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to make Odor and Hooters, the hipster version, which is
Odor?
Odor and Hooters. There was like the sign on the Hooters that was on the corner had 2 Hooters signs, but like each of them had different lights that were not turning on.
Oh.
And it was Odor and Ooters.
I'm
Oh.
not sure I want to open an Odors.
and Odor and Ooters.
Think that
OTEERS.
Odor. Okay.
Odors and Ooters.
I was thinking like something was a little on the smelly end there.
Yummy.
I was like, that's not the kind of Cooters I want.
I can't remember the last time I've even been inside of a Hooters before pre-pandemic.
You actually have been there? I've never been
I've
there.
never been to a Hooters.
I've
Really?
been to Hooters
Yeah,
once. It's a Mission Barbecue now.
I've
But,
been to like, at least 6 of them in my life. I mean, it's not like you're missing much.
It's
but
pronounced Howders. Yeah. Is it good? I mean,
The chicken's nice on many different occasions. I've had many deliveries from there. I've done many trips of DoorDash from there too.
do they only get sent chicks with big tits?
No, there are many chicks who are both variety because I don't know why their calendar is always big, but some of their staff, not all of them, most of them are always looking for people with bigger bra sizes. Most of them.
I mean, that's the gimmick of the restaurant.
I'm asking about the Uber drivers delivering to you.
Oh.
Do they require? There should be a standard here. It's like someone at the Chick-fil-A. Like you need to have a BMI of like 13, and you need to be an 8 out of 10, or you shouldn't be working at Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
That means me, but I'm not trying to work there. So look, there's rules here, like the Hooters, not the Pooters. the
Damn.
Hooters.
Make up your mind.
The Hooters delivery needs to be.
Like you really want a
Big.
direct, large honkers Hooters girl to deliver food from Hooters?
Not
I
necessarily.
don't
Yes.
see any
I'm
problem
just saying
with
the
that.
Uber driver needs to at least have.
Why would you
license.
not want that?
That's part of the experience.
It's like when you go. It's like when you go on Uber and you can choose like Uber X or whatever. You go on Grubhub and you can choose like if you're getting Hooters. It's like I want someone with big mommy milkers right now.
This sounds like the opposite of like the pizza delivery boy concept.
Yeah, it is.
It really adds.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
the
the
better-
Hooter delivery girl.
It's the better version. I don't see why. Yeah, that should be like.
I'm not denying that you should have this concept. This concept feel like it should exist, but as an Uber Eats and
Yeah.
a DoorDash driver, no, the people in my area are just regular people nowadays. There's no direct delivery driver.
So
That's
if
from
Hooters
Hooters.
ever goes
I know,
bankrupt,
I
they
know.
really should start doing a service where it's basically Uber Eats but with girls with huge tits. Call
Yeah.
it Hooter Eats.
Hooter
Yeah.
Eats.
But if it's gonna be that way, and based on me understanding the gimmick of Hooters, like the person who's dropping the food off would not be wearing a skin tight white T-shirt
Why not?
We could make that the rule.
because you got to figure they're
Yeah.
delivering food all year round. And
Well, it lets the
Only
pers-
when they deliver Hooters do they have to have big tits. And
I'm not saying
skin-tight
they're not.
shirts.
I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
more likely you're gonna have the girl showing
a-
up with like a large jacket covering
It's
all
when
the
you
boobs.
make your account in Postmates or Uber Eats. You got
Like you have to be honest. You
It
gotta tell
has
your
to say
bra
like,
size.
yeah, what's your figure like? Would you like to be able to deliver Hooters? Yes
Can
or
we
no?
make a side business where it's girls that deliver your food but they have really big vaginas and we call it DoorDash?
DoorDash?
I'm sure we
Welcome
could.
children to the SpongeBob review episode.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hey kids.
Oh,
Hi, Captain.
pussy SpongeBob DoorDash.
All right.
I mean, there is an explicit rating there for a reason.
Oh,
Don't be complicit. Don't be complicit in this being a SpongeBob episode. It's not enough.
I was
Oh
talking
my
before.
God.
I was talking before we started the show that like my history with SpongeBob was very limited. I probably saw maybe 10 episodes, like ever. And
I've seen like 5 seasons.
and I just never. I had chosen to outgrown cartoons. I really made a conscious choice. I remember this when I was a kid.
Yeah, you would have been like 9.
Yeah, I was around there. Yeah. About the time Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 2 came out and Pokemon the third movie came out, I was just like, I'm done. Because I remember those being the thing that was like, do I continue? And I'm like, no, I don't. Because I had a
Like
friend.
Domino City arc, this is gay.
Yeah, I just, I don't know what I was about to say with the friend. But I was just done. I was just done with cartoons. So SpongeBob and my own childhood did not overlap very long at all. So it was like right at the tail end. It was a big show. I enjoyed it. I didn't have the channel for it, so I would just see it at other people's houses. So I just didn't see it much. I remember liking him, and that was
Yeah. I watched a decent amount of it. Probably like at least 3 seasons, I would guess. And then I think I only watched the first movie. I never watched the second one or the third one.
I watched the second one, not the first one.
To be fair, the second one didn't come out until like 5 fucking years ago. It was really recent.
Oh yeah, there's no way I saw it then. I also had younger siblings. Joe's the youngest, so I had like kids below me, so I would watch their stuff a lot too.
That's a good point. I had adults around me, and I wanted to be one of them, and that was it. Like,
yeah. So I watched
that
like
was a big part of it.
I watched cartoons for a while. You know, like at least like the first 3 seasons of this show.
My story is basically the same as Schweiss's, including having younger siblings. So yeah, I caught SpongeBob a lot. growing up.
I have the opposite of this, is where I'm technically the oldest, but even though I had younger siblings, none of them were watching cartoons.
They were watching Terminator 2 on repeat.
Well, like that's all my parents, like, let's say they would all of us would go see a movie every, I don't know, like once a month maybe as a family.
Nah, mine's I see at least 6 movies a month.
Damn.
That's a lot. I yeah, and they would all be they wouldn't want to watch the kids movie, even though I was the kid. There was such a big gap between me and my next youngest sibling that it was like I was forced to watch a lot of movies that like were not for kids, and they did not care that I was a kid and was going to the thing.
So
Like,
you were tainted early.
I guess I would call that tainted.
Just
early, but
imagining
I
5-year-old Joe watching American Beauty in
I
the theater.
do feel like it wasn't R-rated. It'd be like PG-13 though. I do feel like it kind of is part of the reason why I became a cinephile. Really young.
I was going to say, this makes a lot of sense, honestly.
I watched older movies. I watched movies made for adults on the more tame side of things. Like there was still like you can't watch a rated R movie without my permission kind of a thing. But even then, it was just like whatever my parents were watching on TV or whatever. Like it was none of it was made for kids. Period. Like so.
This explains a lot of things.
It does, and I'm always like when I see my friends or my sisters or anybody who has kids, and I see of like, why don't you show them good stuff? Why are you letting them choose the movies? Because that was never like in my, like occasionally my dad or only my mom would go see whatever the cartoon movie was with me. It was never the whole family thing. I remember having to see a bunch of chick flicks also, because that's what my teenage sisters wanted to watch. Whatever I wanted to watch was never, ever like one of the choices that would be.
That's how you raise a kid right there. They don't get a
Brulo
choice
said
ever.
7-year-old Joe watching Silence of the Lambs.
I did watch Ransom pretty young.
That was an awesome movie.
That's a
I
Mel
watched that a long
Gibson,
time ago.
with the kid is kidnapped, by the way, and I'm a kid watching the kid being kidnapped movie. I don't know what kind of damage that might have done, but
I've never seen that.
that was my first rated R movie, was Ransom.
Wow.
I watched Alien when I was like 14, I think. That was probably my next rated R movie. And 14's not too young, I don't think, for Alien.
Nah, 14 can probably handle Alien.
Yeah, which is what my parents thought. They were like, "Yeah, I think it's okay."
I was watching shit like The Rock and fucking Face Off like on repeat when I was like 13, dude.
Nice.
It was sick. It was such a good time. And so I guess that makes sense. I just barely, because I was playing SpongeBob and my kids wanted to be around me, so I allowed them to do so. And Nicholas is into SpongeBob now. He likes watching it because he watched me play it a little. And so I just turned it on for him the other day, and he's into it. So
It's probably like less obnoxious than a lot of kids shows.
oh, it's way less than like when Turning Red is on. Like the only thing that turns red, as far as I'm concerned, is my fucking face. And I still haven't even watched it all the way. But yeah, like it's not that bad. It's a little crazy, but like obnoxious. But
It's acceptably wacky.
Like there's like my soon-to-be sister-in-law, when she finally gets married to my brother, is a type of woman who said that she vehemently will not let her kids watch SpongeBob because of the amount of adult undertones of a TV show.
What?
Yeah, she's like,
No, there's a few like adult jokes in
But
this
I mean,
first
like
few seasons
real
for
ones.
Sure.
I mean, she doesn't have much of
That's
a
funny.
risk because
That's
that's like,
SpongeBob's.
I mean, it's like it's very versatile for a kind of show, but there are a lot of like adult minor themes in there that you're trying to realize. They're trying to be scary,
They're jokes
trying
that
to be
would fly
dark,
over
trying
kids'
to be
heads
crazy.
anyway. Like the only one I can think of off the top of my head is like SpongeBob's running away from Sandy, saying like, "I have to go get my hair cut," and then Sandy's like, "SpongeBob doesn't have any hair, or does he?" Like stuff like that. Very tame. Very just like kids aren't going to get it anyway until
Yeah.
they're older.
Yeah, they probably won't get it, but like her kids, like one of her kids, I think is 12, and the other one's 9. So
Yeah, that was also
Are
something
they
that bugged me.
homeschooled?
no,
Okay.
That was something that bugged me as a kid, is that I would be able to watch movies like, I don't know, like Men in Black and stuff like that.
great show.
Which are,
Great show.
whatever. Like there's all there is like a bunch of like mild swear words through Men in Black. There's a lot of them. It's like noticeably a lot, like for a PG-13 movie. But it was still like half my friends couldn't watch them with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I'd sneak them. I would just pretend, I would lie to my friends and say it was a PG movie. It wasn't PG-13.
It was actually NC-17.
Nah, it's just like, it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, I can't, like, parents who censor media for their kids when their kids are already talking about sex in middle school.
That's a no-no.
Why?
Yeah.
Do you just
It's
pretend
just
like you
overprotective
can't, like you
parents. I mean,
can't remember what you and your friends were talking about at a certain age?
Yeah, I mean,
Turok.
like my mom didn't let me watch shit like Power Rangers when I was a kid, and like as a
Same.
teenager, I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto, but I still turned
Same.
out
Oh
completely
Oh my
fucked
god, I
up.
watched
Probably
all
more
those
so,
things.
So.
Like as a kid, for me, like if my movie, my parents were a little restrictive. Like they wouldn't let me go watch like super rated R movies that had like clearly sex scenes in it, or ones that were like super scary movies. My family apparently doesn't like scary movies. They just do not even bother watching things that are like clearly been reviewed as like this is gonna like terrify you. This is gonna cause traumatization for some bizarre reason. So we never watched any of this. So we watched like. Pretty much like movie theater top lists, so whatever's like the most important movie of the week, cinema blockbusters that would just come out. So we would just watch those, and they came out so consistently that they just picked up like every movie of a week. Like every week, we would at least watch one movie, unless there was like a triple hit, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll watch all 3 of those across the week."
That sounds like a great week, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is wrong. Like literally, my folks have like built up a point where if they have the ability to get like point systems or reward systems for movie theaters, they're gonna do it. Like they're literally gonna pay the money to go watch. Like we have a Regal system right now, where Regal will be able to let you watch one movie a month for free,
Yeah.
and they literally will just keep doing it. But they'll keep watching more movies because you build up points. So then you can actually build up enough points to watch 2 movies for free, 3 movies for free if you keep going.
Nice.
Right.
I like that.
Is Jurassic Park 13 PG-13?
PG-13, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been watching that since I was like 3.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
My parent
I
or my
love that thing.
sisters, although my parents would not have been okay with this. I was 6 when I watched or 6 or 7 when I watched Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad y'all can
Uh,
remember most of y'all's childhood movies. Like
then-
literally they blur for me.
They're the only things I remember about my childhood. And then the
my fucking
Titanic
my
as
dad
well.
took us to go see the Flintstones live action at a drive-in.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was when I was like 3 or 4, but it was a double feature, and the other movie was Jurassic Park, and I was not allowed to tell my mom that we saw Jurassic Park that night.
Oh,
Such a good
yeah,
movie.
my sister showed me Titanic in 1997.
I think I
Right.
watched Jurassic Park with Nicholas when he was like a year and a half. Or no, 2 years old.
Jeez.
He loved it.
I just
though.
like
he was in, man.
there's a part of me that if I become a parent, it's like the idea is like I might be one of those parents that like outlaws cartoons.
I won't let him watch. I won't let him watch Turning Red. Jason's watched it anyway, and I was.
I don't
pissed
think I've
off
ever
at him.
heard of that show.
It's like a movie that
It's
Disney
it's the
released.
newest Pixar movie.
Or
It
Pixar,
sucks.
and like
Oh.
it's just obnoxious to me. Like it was on in the background, and I was
I
like
thought it
getting,
was funny.
I was getting angry about it. I was like, this is
Really?
this is irritating me. I was like, Chase,
It's
turn that shit off.
it's really
Like,
bad.
what
I don't know why.
Uh.
For me, it just seems like a lot of in my neighborhood neck of the woods, it seems like normal behavior for kids. For my area.
Yeah, kids. That
I'm
I
not
wanna,
saying
like,
me.
Punt. I don't want my kids to be like that. And ever since he's watched it, he's like started back talking like they do in that fucking movie, and I'm like, you
Oh,
little
no.
son of a bitch.
he's gonna backtalk anyway.
I know he is, but
He's a little
it's
boy
the
and
things.
he's got ADHD.
It's the things that also come from that movie that he says, like the things he's been saying. I've heard in that thing, and I'm like, you god damn it, Jake, your fucking mom made him watch that stupid fucking movie. You should have outlawed it,
Fucking
Jake.
movie making you gay.
Yeah, turning the kids gay.
Maybe I don't understand it. I just I didn't see anything wrong with that movie.
It's just
personally.
obnoxious to me. I don't know. I haven't watched
It's
it all
not
the way.
for it's not for people like me and Schweiss. It's for like women in their 30s.
what?
What? I don't know.
Like I sat there and I watched that movie with both of my folks and my brother, and they were like, we thought this was like adorably fun, but that's just us.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched it all the way. I just when it was on, I was like, "What is that?" And then I got mad. And I told him to turn it off because it was driving me nuts.
Like for
I've
me,
never
like
seen
if
it.
I'm gonna compare it to anything, it just feels like a more kiddie version of Big Hero 6.
more kiddie version of a kids movie.
Like more like literally directed for direct. It's not like a. It's like a. Like I know the main character is like a young girl, and it's supposed to be projected of like they're supposed to be like outgoing, like as much as humanly possible, and trying to be like both with and against family issues. So it's like, in a sense, I understand it more, but it's not like the cliche of like of like a boy's fantasy. It's like the opposite, like a girl's fantasy of like I'm just be like part of the friends, be part of the group, go to see boy bands, talk about boys and whatnot. But it's like, yeah, I don't talk about those things. It's just I understand it and it's fine. It's nothing really harmful in any capacity for me. It's just I wasn't annoyed by it.
I was extremely irritated.
Overprotective mother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just sounds like a coming of age movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
what-
girls though.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It-
why I'm not.
It
it's
is for
just not
girls,
me.
but I will say
That's the point. It's supposed to be bad.
No, I
No,
will
what?
say my
It's the-
mom,
it's
who
the
normally
Matrix
likes
thing.
like all the Pixar, like my mom was telling me to watch Encanto. She said it was really good, and I finally watched it. And that movie, like nothing happens in it, literally.
I think it's good. I think it's
I
good.
think it's a pretty good movie.
I've never
It's a
seen
pretty movie. It just nothing happens in it. But then she told me she couldn't even finish Turning Red, and my wife also could not finish Turning Red. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
I don't know.
This
I'll-
is a difference
look,
of like to understand. Like for I guess for me and Joe, who are like,
I haven't seen it.
oh, you haven't seen
No,
it at
I
all.
haven't
I
seen
guess. Well, I mean,
I haven't seen it or Encanto.
Encanto's pretty good.
Yeah, I like Encanto. Like, I understand. It's these two movies for me are like really strong family biased movies where you're supposed to understand it from a perspective of like if you have been controlled by your family members in a sense of like people are like telling you what to do on a near daily basis and it causes you anxiety, these two movies perfectly play to you. But if you don't have this issue and you're a more outgoing person, these mean nothing to you and you probably don't get it.
I didn't have that, and I liked Encanto. I just Turning Red, as far as I could tell, is super.
I didn't hate Encanto. I just felt very
I got too many movies
Like,
to watch. That are
middling
for
to
Yeah,
adults.
it.
you
because,
don't
like,
watch any of these before you watch The Northman. Just don't.
I gotta watch The Northman. I
Still
gotta
gotta watch
see,
that. Still gotta
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I gotta
Still
see
gotta
the
watch that
new-
too.
I gotta see.
you gotta watch Sonic 2 for the show.
Unbearable.
I saw that.
The best movie of the year so far.
Sonic 2 is number 4 on my list of movies to watch. I also got to watch the rest of the Best Picture nominees I haven't seen.
Doctor Strange comes out Friday.
Doctor Strange is low on the list as far as movies I want to see. So
Pretty low.
there's too many movies. Also, everybody should have watched Nightmare Alley because that movie was fucking amazing.
I heard it was
I do
good.
want to watch
I
it.
heard
I
it
have
was
it on.
good.
It's
I have it-
fucking-
I have it saved on HBO Max.
I was blown away by how good it was.
That's Guillermo del
thing
Toro,
was-
right?
Yeah, it's Guillermo del Toro, and it like
Yeah,
did
I wanna watch
nothing at
that.
the box office. Had one of the worst movie posters I've ever seen in my fucking life. That movie was a masterpiece.
I'll probably go watch that.
Nightmare Alley. It's on HBO right now, or at least it was a week ago.
Yeah, but what we're here to really talk
SpongeBob.
about.
Oh yeah, fuck.
SpongeBob.
So a review of Turning Red
SquarePants.
is 5 out of 10. You might like it, you might hate it.
Yeah, you might not have seen it. Yeah. So, SpongeBob SquarePants: The Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is obviously a remaster of a PS2 game called SpongeBob
Battle for Bikini
Battle
Bottom.
for Bikini Bottom. The remaster was released in a year, June 23rd, 2020. And it was definitely a commercial success. Sold over 2 million copies, the remaster. So that's pretty impressive. And yeah, basically the story is
Robots. So the Plankton, who's like the little tiny bad guy, who's like the does he have like a
His goal.
competition with Krusty Krab or something
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that?
he's a
His
competitor.
Like,
overall
everyone
goal.
goes to the Krusty Krab, and he has a restaurant called the Chum Bucket that no one goes to.
Okay.
And he's always trying to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula.
I think one of my favorite jokes from SpongeBob ever was like SpongeBob couldn't see him or something like that. And he's like, closer, come closer. And like SpongeBob's just hearing his voice. And then he goes, not that close. And he like steps on him. So that one made me laugh when I was a kid pretty hard. And I still remember it. He's trying to do something and he accidentally makes some robots that go haywire and then robots fill the whole town.
Yeah.
He makes an army of robots to take over the town, but he accidentally switches the switch to do not obey instead of obey.
Yeah, because there's this
It's like a
switch,
very
yeah.
dumb, like kid-friendly plot. Like it's very silly, which is
Yeah.
it fits SpongeBob's wheelhouse perfectly.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
You then have to go through each area. You got to collect spatulas.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Golden
SpongeBob's
spatulas, yes.
he's a burger cook. He's a burger flipper.
Right, but I don't understand why he has to collect spatulas. Period. But
It's kind of just this arbitrary thing. Like it's
Thing.
basically this is
If you-
basically Super Mario
if
64.
you do this, I'll give you a new spatula. Which, by the way, from the beginning of the game, all I could think about was that UHF segment, with
Spatula
Spatula
City.
City. It's
Yeah.
like, what better way to say I love you than the gift of a spatula? Like, there's like,
That's in the game.
no, that's in the movie
No,
UHF.
it's from the Weird Al movie UHF.
Never seen it.
It's like
Oh
a
my
commercial
God.
in the movie.
Spatula City, Spatula City.
Buy 9 spatulas, get the 10th free.
Nope.
I love spatulas so much that I bought the company. There's so many fucking jokes in that thing.
My
It's so
favorite
good.
joke from that movie still though is Conan the librarian, and then the guy comes in, he's like, "This book's like a few days late," and he just goes, "Oh!" And he just chops the dude in half.
Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
That or Gandhi too, where it's
Conan,
Gandhi
the
with like a fucking
librarian.
Tommy gun. He's like, "I'll have the steak rare."
Have you guys not seen this movie?
No.
Oh my god.
It's on Amazon Prime. UHF is great. It's the Weird Al movie from like the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you love spatula jokes, it's the best one in
If you like
cinema
seeing
history.
Kramer from Seinfeld before he got canceled, he is all over this movie.
Well, also before Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, it was before Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And Fran Drescher's in it, and she's kind of
How
hot.
old is
so
this
that's
movie?
Fran Drescher's been hot the whole time. I don't know.
How-
Cool. Well, the voice kills it, but
How old is this movie?
It's in the
they're like
80s,
94,
mid-80s.
95,
Dear God.
No, it's older than that.
92, 93.
Oh, now I gotta look it up. Sorry. Story of SpongeBob. What'd you guys think of the story of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Hot Bottom Rehydrated? Jesus Christ.
It's like a 4.
A four,
It's there. It's just literally there to facilitate gameplay.
UHF
It's-
is 1989.
Oh my god, it's that
Wow.
old?
Yeah, dude, it's 80s. It's clearly 80s. When you're watching it, it's like screaming 1980s.
I thought it was like early 90s. Whatever.
It was probably still being broadcast in the early 90s, probably. But
well, for sure.
That's
Well,
probably
yeah.
when you saw it, yeah.
On UHF stations, maybe.
You said a 5, A4?
I think I'm going to 4 for the story. It's literally just there, like, but it's silly, which is what it fits SpongeBob. But like, they really don't feel like there's any stakes.
I don't. I like it. This is a game for kids. I think it's fine as a game for kids. Like, it's not obnoxious. I actually found it like mildly amusing as I was going along, which is kind of how I feel about watching SpongeBob now as an adult. Anyway, it's like, oh, it's mildly amusing, and it's not like something where I'm just like out of the loop on it, or it's something like horrific, like a Dora the Explorer or something like that. It's even though I know that cartoon's old and hasn't. I don't know any modern
I heard
cartoons.
that movie was
clearly.
terrible.
So I'm gonna go with. I think it was fine for what it was. I'm gonna go with a 6.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I think it's a 6. I think it could definitely be a viable SpongeBob episode. I mean, there's plenty of them where this exact thing pretty much happens. Where
Yeah, yep.
Plankton's trying to steal the recipe. He comes up with some dastardly plan, and then he fucks it up royally.
Every time.
Yeah. I think that's pretty common. And
I think he
I
has,
don't know.
he has more success when his robot lady friend does all the job for him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about her.
His wife, his robot wife.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually think the writing is pretty funny in this, and I've laughed at it a couple times. Like, there were some pretty decent
Actually,
jokes.
yeah. You know what? For the writing, I'll put it up to like a 6 or 7. I'll go 6. Yeah, it's funny.
Peer pressure.
It's all right.
No, I did laugh a couple times.
I didn't think of like writing kind of only belongs in the story category. So
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I enjoyed it for what it was. It is. I mean, obviously it's a SpongeBob game. Story pretty basic, but I liked the characters. I thought they had some pretty funny lines, and I don't know. I just think it's fine. It was a nice change of pace from what I had been doing with Chocobo World and Elden Ring and like pain upon pain. Because everything was painful at the time. This was no pain, but still gain. No pain for me. Oh, no, there was a little pain actually. No, you know what? No, I take that back. There's one level in here that is pain, very pain. Speaking of gameplay, what do you guys think? This is a platformer, like a 3D platformer action kind of game.
Corinne, have you played this?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I know more about SpongeBob though.
Okay, yes, clearly I was like, okay, he must have played the game, but then no one asked him his opinion on the story.
Nope. I mean, I can give my opinion, but I don't know if it'll count because it's like I haven't played the game, but I can basically tell the synopsis of the whole episode of this entire franchise. The only thing I probably can't play on is probably what are the gameplay and the music and the overall sound.
Well, the gameplay is it's a platformer.
Of 3D nature.
3D platformer.
Joe's favorite.
Yeah.
Check and check.
So like,
Yeah.
so like Crash Bandicoot.
My
no, like Super Mario 64.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, clearly, I have said this many times, and luckily on this show we have had very few platformers played at all on this podcast.
Should just give you a list of 10 platformers.
I am good. A4 said this game was going to be an 8-hour game because he apparently had
It is
no
an 8-hour
problem,
game, first of all.
beating this game in 8 hours. And he, in fact, 100%ed it in how many
12.
hours? 12 hours.
Damn, I took 20.
I was getting pretty mad last week at a certain point where I'm like, how the fuck did he beat this in 8 hours? Because I just played 3 hours today, and I was playing even more like the week before. Like, I was just like adding it up in my mind without
Wow,
looking
you must be really bad at video games.
without looking it up. You know, like I was just like, what? Like I wasn't trying to look up too many of the spatulas. I was just trying to get the spatulas.
Yeah.
And there were just some areas where it was just like,
What do the spatulas do for you?
you just have to collect enough so that you can.
You just have to
open
collect enough
new
when we get to
areas.
the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You collect spatulas to open up new areas of the game.
I also hear about socks. Are socks involved?
Socks are involved. I don't even know what socks do. You can just collect.
can
It's
trade
just
it.
another collectible. If you collect like 10 of the socks, you can give them to Patrick and he'll give you a spatula.
Yeah.
Oh. So
That
the,
seems
and then,
a
like,
really hard.
It's almost like a
spatula to get.
parody of these types of games anyway, because like the little collectibles you collect that are like your currency are literally just called shiny objects.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
aw, would have been better with a
and,
chocolate reference.
You can
Chocolate!
you can do
Chocolate!
you can do certain of the levels with other characters. Like you can switch them out, and they have like slightly different abilities that can let you explore the level a little bit more.
Yeah, like Patrick throws stuff, and Sandy can like lasso things from far away
And
and
here's the
glide with her
thing:
lasso.
Sandy is the best character to play with. Period.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Yes, I agree.
I did
OP.
not beat this in 8 hours. I beat it barely, by the way. Like, I did the bare minimum to beat the game. I had to look up about 10 spatulas near the end because I was like, this is my last day to play this game. I can't fucking do this. So, like, I have to look this shit up so I could get through this game. Some of the spatulas are ridiculously hard to find on your own. Like, I have no idea how the fuck you did this without a guide
Wow,
or
you
anything.
must
Like,
be really
shut
bad
the
at
fuck up,
video games.
A4. I also suck at platformers, so, like,
More.
seriously, like my ability, for some reason, I believe this is just like there are kids who grow up playing video games and they're just good at these tiny type of games, and then there's like people like me who games that require like hand-eye coordination, like smoothness, like all that stuff, like those kind of games are like ridiculous to me. So like,
Wow, you must.
shut the fuck up. I could not like getting a jump sometimes with SpongeBob on some of the like the moving or like falling platforms and shit like that. It would take me like a few tries like in order to like nail those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if this matters to anybody, but is there a difference in the playstyle? Because I saw this game is also on mobile phones too, but is there like a FPS frame rate percentage for this that's outputted to? Because people tend to be this.
I think it runs at 60 on PC and like the modern consoles. I would
Okay.
assume anyway.
I would probably not play it on a phone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
to be
same here.
fair.
I have no idea. I did find this because I've complained about platformers before. This must be the first platformer I've ever beaten. It is forgiving enough that I was not having a hellish time, but it did take me a while. 14 hours to do the bare minimum to beat this game.
Hold on, I also have a sound of Joe trying to play this game.
I can do this. I can do this. Why is it so hot in here? Ah, my hand is cramping.
That's about right.
That's right. That's right.
That's about right. But I mean, for a platform, because it wasn't like so ridiculously frustrating, like I thought it was fine. Sometimes fun. Like there were some areas that I had a good time with. So I'm gonna give the gameplay. I'm gonna give it a 7. It glitched on me quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's really why I'm giving it a 7. It glitched on me, and it's not my favorite type of gameplay. But I thought it was solid, so I'll give it a 7. I had some fun.
Yeah. I'll probably give it a 7 too. I'm teetering between 6 through 8. But I do think the glitches kind of take it away a little bit. There's a few times I got ripped off. And sometimes the checkpoints are kind of brutal. I can't remember what
Yeah.
level it was, but I was like, this is fucking me up. Or, oh no, it's the one where you're, you got to like hop across the chandeliers. and that one would really piss me off because I would
Oh,
fall
in the museum?
down.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
fall down and I'd hit another checkpoint. So then
Oh.
if I died, I went back to that checkpoint instead of the one that's in the future. And I'm like, okay, this checkpoint system's starting to piss me
That
off.
chandelier area pissed me off too.
And then A4, you know when you did the fight in Patrick or in Squidward's dream where you have to like keep fighting the robots and it like pulls
Yeah, that was
the-
brutal.
the
On the
burger
grill,
apart.
they just keep. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
Yeah,
took me
that
a
part was hard.
while. I was like, this is viciously hard, dude. That one, and then I think Joe would have had an aneurysm if he did Squidward's other dream or the dream. I don't know if it was Squidward's. I think this was Squidward's dream. The music one part where you're like hopping across the notes.
Yeah, that one's pretty tough too.
That was a lot of platforming. There's a lot of checkpoints along the way, but there's like some of the most difficult jumping and like timing because you're like jumping across notes that are moving across, and then like if you stand on them for too long, it'll collapse. And you have to like, there's one where you have to bounce on a little.
Person like me who can't figure out shit, I want to line myself up perfectly. Like those
Yeah.
collapsing platforms are just like my nightmare.
There's another one where you have to do that, but you're also like dropping down from the sky, and then you have to time your fall, and then like because there's like little spike clouds or spike platforms that are down there, and then you have to like land on the little bouncy thing to bounce yourself back up. That one was. I could see that being really hard for you. I was lucky.
I also remember like the missile trick shots in a few spots being a pretty frustrating.
Yeah, or
There's
when
a couple of those that are tough.
Oh, in SpongeBob's dream, when there's a part where you're just jumping across a platform, and then the platforms keep like flipping, and then there's spike ends, so you have to get past the spike end, which is super frustrating. And then I jump across the chasm, and I hit a guy's shield that you have to hit with the missile, the big robot guys, and it'll bounce me off
fuck
the
those
edge, and I
guys.
die.
Kelp,
And I have to jump
those
again.
are annoying.
Kelp
Those
Forest.
like shielded robots.
Kelp Forest was the most annoying one for me. And then there
Kelp
was
Forest is easily the worst level in the game. Yeah.
And then there was one of the, I think at the end of Kelp Forest, and I ended up not doing it. I went to the next area just for a little bit
The
to
ramp thing.
to grab like 3 of them. But like the slide at the end, where he's like, "You got to beat my time," in Kelp Forest specifically because there's no rails, kind of like a certain Chocobo racing game we played recently.
Should have been there to help you.
A ridiculous course with no rails, and I could not finish it once. And I was like, I'm done.
I think it took me twice to beat his time.
It took me a few tries. Yeah, it's tricky. You got to jump off at a few areas.
Get the hell out of here.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. You have to go back
I
to
can't play these type of games. Stop nominating these type of games. Stop. No more 100-hour
Wow, you
RPGs.
must be really bad at video games.
No more RPGs that are 40 hours, but you didn't really get the full experience unless you played it 100 hours. I don't want any more of that shit. I want none of that shit. No games with fucking 12 different endings where if I didn't play every single ending,
Yeah, Armada.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with those.
No hard games.
And I am done. I'm done with platformers. I'm done. I don't want an 8-hour game to take me 14 hours. An 8-hour game takes me 14 hours. I'm sorry that I don't have the hand-eye coordination for this. I'm sorry. Or the time.
I think you needed to
Or
watch more
the
cartoons
time.
as a kid.
Yeah, it took me 20 hours to platinum it, so I wasn't that fast. Like, I was trying to do it legit though for a while. Like as I was playing, I was trying to find everything as I was going along.
It takes a while to do that in this game.
And I found a lot of it though. I
like A4 is a goddamn liar is what I'm thinking.
I think I had two areas.
I have the Steam thing. I could show you.
How much were you looking up? Because things did go fast when I looked up.
I looked up like
things.
3 spatulas tops and like maybe a sock. I'm dead serious.
Did you play this as a kid?
I did not.
A4, I don't believe you.
I think I had.
I don't know what to tell you. I never really played this growing up.
I needed
we
to
had
get
it. My
one-
sisters played it. I did not.
Are you
I
good
didn't
at
really
this type
watch
of
them play it
game?
either.
Are you good at this type of game?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
normal video games. Yeah.
I needed to get like 2 or 3 more spatulas, and I had never been to Kelp Forest or the Dream, so I had 2 levels, but I only needed like 3 more.
Puzzle-filled platforming games.
Yeah.
Here, SpongeBob can comment on what I'm like.
Wow, you must be really bad at video games.
So yeah, I think the gameplay's okay. It's definitely not as good as like a Spyro game. It kind of feels like Spyro for layman Like it's like a.
I mean, that's essentially what it
low-budget
is.
Spyro. It's not nearly as good. It's very similar in a lot of ways. It's like a Spyro, or somebody was saying Psychonauts, but I've never played that.
I have.
Yeah, Psychonauts is the same kind of formula.
Yeah.
It's a good formula. I think it's kind of a weak version of it. Like
Oh,
Spyro
man.
is incredible. Like those are
It's-
great games.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like about Spyro is the drift that Spyro glides on every platform. So you don't just land on a platform and just stop moving. You actually move
Slide a little, yeah.
little bit. I don't know if y'all had that in SpongeBob.
No, the SpongeBob is frustrating in its own ways, though.
Oh, okay.
But SpongeBob, it's also kind of like Spyro is super cool because you have to collect all of the gems and there's like hidden stuff, and there's that stuff in SpongeBob too. But it's a lot more farmable for the currency. So like, but you have similar things where you can like buy spatulas from Mr. Krabs. Did you ever do that, Joe? Purchase spatulas from Mr. Krabs?
I did.
Oh, okay. That's an easy way to get
I
'em.
bought every single spatula from him.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a lesser Spyro to me. Yeah, so
I did
That's fair,
feel I
yeah.
felt an immense amount of shame when it took me 14 hours to beat this game. I honestly feel like horribly depressed about it. Like, should I even play video games? Like,
Jesus.
don't you ask that
Like,
anyway all the time? I mean,
I do ask that anyway because they are certainly a time sink, and there are many periods in my life where I don't have.
Also,
time
I'm
for that.
sorry. How long to beat? SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Main story, 8.5 hours. I'm just saying.
mine was slow for 100%. Mine was 20. It said 100% was like 14.
I'll just take
Yeah,
your word for
14.
it. I've never played it, so.
Yeah, so I don't know. I sucked too. There was parts where it took me a while to get past, like that fucking arena style fight. That was ridiculous.
The one on the grill in
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs' dream?
The fucking grill, yeah. When that Squidward's freaking out, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That part is hard. I
rough.
got tripped up a few times there.
And then the race against Larry, that one was sick. I had to look up a video on that. I was like, how the
The
fuck?
lobster, right?
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
a ball that I knock down almost every time because it gets me a little faster. But I didn't notice that it blew through a wall and created a shortcut on the race. And I was like, oh well, if I would have seen that, I would have won. But I didn't.
Oh yeah,
notice
that
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to look up a video for that too.
I didn't see the hole in the wall. I just kept flying.
There was
by.
like one soccer spatula I had to look up that was like in Kelp Forest. There's like a row of tikis and you have to use a bubble bowling ball to like knock them all out in one go in a straight
Oh.
line.
Yeah.
Like I didn't figure that one out, and I also didn't think to check the dumpster behind the Krusty Krab for a spatula or a sock. I forget which one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How about the one in Plankton's place that's in like a hidden corner at the top of the room?
Oh, I found that one.
Oh.
Well, you guys told
Yeah, I
me
found
there
that
was
one
one
too.
in there though. Somebody told me.
Oh, I think I did tell you.
Yeah, but the one where you knock out all the boxes in a row, I actually just did that. I just happened to do it.
realized I beat another game.
I didn't hit them with the bubble bowling ball. I just kind of hit them like naturally with my wand.
That's what I did too. I just hit him sneakily, and it gave it to me.
This episode would be a month after that. How what did you beat?
I know.
Thing.
I know.
So A4, what are you gonna give gameplay?
I'm gonna give it a 7. It's like a perfectly acceptable version of this kind of game. It's like a lesser Mario 64, or like a Ratchet and Clank or a Psychonauts, stuff like that. It's solid. It works well. It doesn't go above and beyond. It doesn't really reinvent the wheel in any way.
I think something he could say all that, and I can just say the same thing for graphics and design. It's a 7. Serviceable. Good job. Looks like a SpongeBob thing. It's not so distracting. They didn't like shine it up or anything like that. It still feels like.
I mean,
a
they
SpongeBob
did,
thing.
but
Well, not in this. Not
Compared
in,
to the
not in
original
ways I
version.
can think of that they could do it. Like you've seen those like I don't know. I lost my reference in my head. But anyway, I don't. It doesn't look like Final Fantasy World to me.
Right.
Or World of Final Fantasy. I mean.
Oh,
where
yeah, man, I
it's
was gonna
like-
get a sound for this because I forgot. Like everything looks like plastic, and I was gonna get the sound from the one episode where he's like, "It's just a little plastic treasure chest," and they go, "Plastic." But yeah,
My favorite line from the game is "Ooh, sparkly."
yeah, I know because you've said it 18 fucking times this recording session over like 5 weeks of episodes.
But yeah, graphics and design, they're fine. It looks like a cartoon. Works for
I would
me.
give it. I would give graphics an 8.
It would be
It
cooler
looks
if
like
it
the
looked,
show, totally serviceable. It's kind of weird that these games aren't like cell shaded, like even back in the day, but
Yeah,
it
that's
looks fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.
If it looked like a 2D SpongeBob episode, that would be even better.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Easier platforming.
Oh yeah.
Like if they'd done the
and
thing they
better
did with like
platforming,
Sly
yes.
Cooper or Jet Set Radio where it was cell shaded and they had like outlines, then
Oh,
yeah.
Jet Set Radio.
It looked closer to the show for sure.
Yeah, I think it looked okay. Didn't really have very many graphical glitches. There's a couple weird things that happened. There was one level where I played as Sandy. It was the downtown one where you're with Miss Puff trying to like collect all the wheels.
I had some glitches.
I
the
like
whole time.
floated into the air forever. I was high.
Really?
I was high in the sky.
Bro.
Yeah, I was
So
high. I was as
high.
high as you were last time we recorded. Or as high as you said you were.
Yeah. I wasn't high last time we recorded.
And then luckily you can just reload you can like go to a checkpoint and save it, but I was gone.
The first time I glitched was I was just out in the Bikini Bottom like random area, and I was trying to like walk into an area I wasn't supposed to, and the hand thing came in.
Oh yeah, where you like
Yeah, the hand thing came in, like a hand from God comes in and like picks your character up if they go in a place they're not supposed to, and it dropped me off in a place I wasn't supposed to be in, and I dropped below the map,
Oh wow.
and I
Oh.
couldn't get out.
I like when you like go into an area where you're not supposed to be in, and then he like his arms like reach out to like stop you, and then they just get super long, and then he gets pulled away.
It's
by
bizarre.
God.
It's such a bizarre thing.
It looks so weird. It looks like it's glitching, but I don't know if it is. It's just funky looking.
No, it's just weird.
Like a hand of God moment. They just literally like just.
Yeah, that's what the
No,
show
like
does
it's like
sometimes,
literally a
too.
cutout of a guy's hand in like a admiral's
Monty
uniform,
Python.
and it just comes in from the side and grabs you and just
yeah.
pans back. It's like in the cartoon, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about like reference of like when hey,
Sorry.
not that one, not that one.
Cred, don't make a.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. If it
But
happens, just
like
adjust
the reference that I see from SpongeBob SquarePants is like when SpongeBob gets sick and he has to
Yeah,
go to the
it's
doctor.
like literally that.
And he actually, the giant glove that comes in, and SpongeBob gets to be like the humanoid that gets washing dishes. In order to get better, he just gets infused with soap, and they just smush his face 100,000 times. He cleans countertops and cleans cabinets. He's like, oh, I feel better. And then you got Patrick, who's like, hey, do me, Doc, do me. And like, you probably don't want a starfish to do this because the starfish ends up becoming a toilet bowl cleaner.
Yeah.
I missed half of that because I was worried about the sound thing.
The SpongeBob, a good gimmick for SpongeBob is when he goes to the doctors because he has the suds, which is like sickness or the flu for him. In order to get better when he's sick, the doctor prescribes him a remedy of cleaning. And the remedy for cleaning is he basically gets pulled
so it's
in.
like a soap thing. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I get
Like
it.
the giant hand comes and just grabs him, and then it just cuts to live action footage of a guy actually just using a real sponge to clean dishes.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. and then,
And then Patrick was trying to lie about having the suds too because he wanted a lollipop, and then the guy's like, "Oh, we've got a cure for you," and then the hand grabs Patrick, and then it's just a footage of a live action starfish being used to clean a toilet bowl,
Wow.
and he's like, "Oh no!" And that's the end of the episode.
because the
yeah.
concept is that the toilet bowl brush thing that you have that cleans inside of a toilet is made out of starfish.
I've seen the clip of SpongeBob watching sponges mating, like live action video sponges mating on the TV.
Oh my god!
Before.
Oh yeah.
that was a pretty funny.
And then
like,
Gary comes in and he just
inside
changes
joke.
it to football
Yeah, and
or
he-
some
And
shit.
he quickly changes the channel. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The next category is sound and music. I think the voice acting is really good for the most part. There was one character that just sounds like a guy doing a James Woods impersonation. Is he actually James Woods in the actual show, or is it a guy who just sounds a lot like James Woods?
What is she?
Which
Who is it?
character was it?
It was like one of the superhero-y guys.
Mermaid Man?
Mermaid Man and Aqua Boy.
So I think the problem with Mermaid Man is that guy who did the voice in the cartoon is dead because he was old.
Yeah.
And the only other voice I can think of that isn't in the fucking game for some reason is Clancy Brown as Mr. Krabs. I don't know why they couldn't get Clancy Brown. But
Yeah, he's Mr. Krabs is off a little bit.
Oh, he's not like the good old me money, me money, me money.
No, he's the same character. He's just a different voice actor.
Oh,
It's a
Yeah,
little bit
like
off.
So James Woods apparently was never part of SpongeBob, according to a quick Google search. So that kind of like freaks me out. James Woods plays he's the bad guy in Hercules. If you want the voice
Yeah.
in your
Hades?
head, yeah, Hades.
he's also the bad guy in Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh Oh yeah.
and it just sounds like the guy's doing a James Woods impersonation.
Are you talking about Barnacle Boy?
I think so.
Yeah. That's yeah.
He does kind of sound like James Woods now that you mention it.
Yeah, I thought it was like, oh, they got some knockoff actor because James Wood didn't want to do the video game.
No,
That's
but
immediately
the guy
what I
who they
thought.
got to voice Barnacle Boy is actually the guy from the show. Mermaid Man's the one that's different.
Oh, okay.
Mermaid. I didn't even notice Mermaid Man.
So I thought the voice acting was good. I do think the music was trash. I thought the music was just like, I don't know the music of SpongeBob at all, but I was just like, okay, this is just like, there was no like rhyme or reason to like what the mood of the music was in a lot of the areas. It actually did stick out to me. I remember thinking about like, what is this music saying about this area? And it's like nothing. It's just like a jazzy, exciting music to like get you pumped. And I thought that was lame. So I'll give the Sound of Music a 7. It's fine.
All right. What about you, Afer?
I'm going to give it an 8 because the voice acting's great. Most of the cast returns from the show besides the ones I listed. And, it's all voice acted very well. The music is fine. It totally matches the vibe of the show. But like Joe said, they don't really match the areas sometimes. And honestly, I don't really remember any of the melodies too much. So, it doesn't really stick out in my head. If I heard them, I'd remember them again because I spent a lot of time in those levels. But
No, you didn't.
like
spend
off the
hardly
top of
any
my head,
time.
I cannot remember those songs. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 7 also. I think it's okay. Voice acting, I do think they did pretty dang good. Even I didn't notice that the Mermaid Man guy was different. But I did notice Mr. Krabs was kind of off. It was a pretty good, pretty close one. But this is a gripe I've had with, I feel like for the SpongeBob movie, somebody was different too. And it might have been SpongeBob himself, or he sounded
no,
weird
Tom
or
Kenny's always
something.
been SpongeBob.
Okay, something was weird about the SpongeBob movie that I didn't like. There was someone that was different, and it bugged the shit out of me. So it kind of bugs me, but I don't know. Like Joe said, the music's kind of whatever. I can't really think of any of it other than the themes that are part of the show anyway. So
Was Gary in the
Hope you
game?
like ukulele and slide guitar because
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I figured it'd just be nothing but like bad clarinet and bubbles and creaky doors.
I didn't hear that. I heard like full-on brass bands playing jazzy music. That's like shit that would have been in the Chocobo Racing game we just played.
Oh,
There's a lot of that in some of the areas. It's like,
Yeah, it's kind
Okay.
of a little much.
probably in like the Mermaid Man area because it's like a Batman parody.
I remember it when I had that thought. It was the one where you first get Sandy.
Oh, the downtown. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I can't really remember any of the songs off the top of my head.
Do you
So
guys
it's hard
like
to say.
how like haunting SpongeBob looked when he went into Sandy's dome? Like his like
oh,
yeah.
he shriveled.
dried up. He
Shriveled.
looked pretty terrifying.
my God, yeah.
honestly.
Because that's based on the show too. Basically,
No, I
he goes in there
remember.
and he realizes there's no water, and he like
don't need it. yeah. And he's trying to resist water so he doesn't offend Sandy. That's pretty. But
Yeah.
it was in the game.
No,
I
but
was
it's like cool that they
Jesus.
put little details like that in there where you go in the tree dome and he just for that one area that's like barely even a level, he just switches to that model. He's like, "Oh, it's me." It's great.
Replayability. Personally, I will never replay this game. There's a lot of stuff to collect though, so I'll give it that. I just didn't like the game enough to replay it, so like I thought it was fine. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
I would also give it a 5. I'm probably not going to replay this at any point in the near future, if ever. But I enjoyed my time with it. But I did collect everything, so I really don't feel the compulsion to go back. And it's not like I'm going to speed run this shit or whatever. So, yeah, I give it a 5.
No, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. I think I might go back and play the multiplayer with Jace. We didn't even really mention it.
Is there
the-
multiplayer in this
I
game?
didn't know there was multiplayer in this game.
There's multiplayer for the Rehydrated version, but really all it is it sounds like waves of enemies, so it doesn't really sound that fun because the combat's not that
Combat's not like something I super enjoy about it. It's simple.
great. Sandy, it's okay because you're just like mopping the floor with all these pricks that
Yeah.
nailed you before. Like you're like the guy, the little like spinner hand guys, hop up in the sky and just lasso to pieces. Like yeah, that was enjoyable, but only because of vengeance. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'll play it again. I platinumed it, so I did play more of it, but I've got my fill. Like I'm good. Like I might play a little of the multiplayer just to satisfy Jace's request.
So I will go through the scores while Schweiss adds them up. All three of us gave story a 6 out of 10. Gameplay, all three of us gave it a 7 out of 10. Graphics and design, me and Schweiss gave it a 7 out of 10, and A4 gave it an 8. For sound and music, same thing. Me and Schweiss gave it a 7, and A4 gave it an 8. And for replayability, me and A4 gave it a 5 out of 10, and then Schweiss gave it a 6 out of 10.
For a whopping 99 out of 150, which is a 66 out of 100 for SpongeBob SquarePants. The
Now
Battle
we
for
all got to
Bikini
figure out
Bottom.
what's the meta.
Rehydrated. Yeah, can you pull up the Metacritic while I add this to the... We have 2 other 66 games. They are Galgun Double Peace and Darksiders.
It's got a 68 on Metacritic.
Oh wow!
The rehydrated version. Yeah.
Right about
Close.
there.
Close.
So I guess that it's fine. I didn't have a bad time with it. But I would have rather.
No, it's like
played
it's
something
fine.
else.
This would be a good weekend rental if you were a kid.
It'd be fine for a kid. Yeah, I think this is a great game for a kid, for sure.
Not super duper challenging, very colorful, very fun, very funny.
No.
But it really doesn't do anything super spectacular for that matter either.
Yeah, it is the 95th greatest game of all time.
It's in the top 100. It's one of
Top
the
one-
100 greatest games of all time.
You heard it
Wow.
here. Top 100 out of 113 games of all time, according to Nude Clan. 2 points above or below Death Stranding,
Wow.
That's insane.
which is not accurate at
Y'all
all.
must, did y'all
but,
really hate that game that much? or-
I loved Death Stranding.
I also love Death Stranding, but I was not on the show.
Everyone else was just
I've never
a chum.
played it.
It's awesome. I like it a lot.
I hear it's trippy, like real trippy.
It's trippy.
It's cool.
But,
I put 130 hours into it, so I might have Stockholm syndrome. But
Oh,
It's a big boy.
Wow.
well, I also got the platinum, so
Yeah, I don't have that. And I still put like 60, 70 plus probably. So it's a big game.
isn't it a lot of walking?
It sure is.
yeah, it's a walking simulator.
Oh God. Anyway,
That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Maybe check out SpongeBob SquarePants Rehydrated. Oh, because it was free.
Free on
Did you want to
PlayStation
talk about
Plus.
that?
Yeah. I bought it like 2 weeks before it was free on Plus, so I own it for $20.
Nice.
it's for $10 on a mobile phone if you even want to play it on a mobile phone. But
I
we
mean,
don't
if you
recommend-
grew up with this game, you'll probably want to check this out if you haven't already. So
Was it a big
Yeah.
game at the time? I don't know anything about this.
it was. A lot of people grew up with this. That's why it won the vote.
What's the year of release?
2002, 2003.
Yeah, it sounds like the very beginning of SpongeBob's career.
Mm.
Yeah, so the original game,
It's on the 3 consoles. It was for PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube.
yeah, let's see the reception of it. I want to see.
It's amazing to me that
It got
SpongeBob's
better.
this old.
It got better reviews back in the day. It
My
looks
God.
like. The Game Boy Advance version's pretty high on the list of top 50 handheld games for Edge magazine.
How much did it sell, though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, sometimes you can't get those numbers for games.
Looks like Metacritic, 71 out of 100 for PS2, so it was an okay game.
Oh, so it was okay at the time. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, we're not getting sales information on here.
Rehydrated sold 2 million. I'm trying to find the sales for the original.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to find too. I don't think we're gonna find it, guys. Anyway, so that is going to be it for this episode. Support us on Patreon if you are willing and able. We would really appreciate it. Also, you can check out the show's Twitter and be part of the votes and everything like that if you follow it at New Clan Podcast. I am off Twitter, and I'm now on Instagram. I am at Joseph DeGolier.
I am at UFF Podcast.
I'm going last.
I'm at A4 Extreme.
I'm just kidding.
I am Krinatal. You can find me on Twitter if you feel like you want to chat at KRINITAL on Twitter. But I'm also on the Discord. You will more than likely find me on there.
Oh, yeah, the link to Discord will be found in the description of this episode, assuming a description is actually written there.
I hear many stories
Usually
about
it is.
that.
But yeah, guys. Thank you, Krinatal, for coming on throughout the whole month.
It was a
episodes.
pleasure.
Thank you for flying back into Utah every week. That's crazy.
Yeah, guys, we will see you next time.
Live always in the nude.
Walk with your golden spatula held high.
Have a Krabby Patty, everybody.
Ooh, sparkly.
Yeah!